Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the extended monthly forecast for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the month of August 2018. I really hope that you enjoyed your July extended monthly forecast as well, and thank you for everyone who watches my videos, who comments on them. I love hearing from you, for subscribing to my channel. That means the world to me. And of course, for sharing my content with others. That's incredibly kind of you, so thank you. So this month we're going to be using a 7-card spread. It's called a horseshoe spread, and it is a general reading. If you'd like a personalized reading, my contact information is in the description below, including who I am, why I do what I do, and of course the cards that I'm using. So what does Taurus need to know for the month of August 2018? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, August 2018. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, August. So I'm not going to take jumpers, but it's interesting to see if this crops up in your reading later on. This is, of course, the Knight of Wands or Messenger of Fire in this deck. That's really rushing, passionate energy. Could be someone who's quite youthful or youthful feeling energy to you. It also could be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. What is Taurus to know? Taurus, what do you need to know? Taurus, August 2018. I'm just waiting for that little tingle in my arm or my hand, which is when I know when to stop shuffling here. And that's it. Very good. So I will cut the deck for you. I am going to use bottom of the deck energy for your reading. It's not technically a part of the spread today. Look at that. That's so cool. It's not technically part of the 7 cards today, so but I do like using this with this spread for general energy. It does help spell some things out, as well as this could be a unique individual in your environment for the month. If not, it's energy, right? It's this passionate, let's go for it. It's entrepreneurial, or at least the spark of entrepreneurship. I would say the Queen of Fire would be someone who's just like, you know, right there with the boss, the CEO, that type of thing. I think this is almost like you're willing to start that business or keep moving through that business venture or love venture. Again, it's general reading, so however you're applying this, but very passionate, excitable energy. So that we're just going to lay right in the center of the spread for you. And then let's get your cards out. As I always do, I'll do a little snapshot of what's going on with these cards together. And then we will go ahead and look at them in their respective positions. First of all, you have some really gorgeous energy here. We are dealing with 2 major arcanas. As you can see, we have our Magician and then our Moon. So Magician is really just saying that you have all the tools that you need, all the resources at your disposal. This is a past position, so it's really being in a position of getting anything you want, doing anything you want. You could even be involved in the occult or the spiritual world yourself, or have dabbled in that. Or if you're spiritually minded, you could just be someone who has a spiritual heart, and it has nothing to do with the occult. That's certainly, they are mutually exclusive. They don't have to belong together. I consider myself a spiritual occultist, but some people don't like that. Some people like being religious and not spiritual. So however you're reading that, this is really having all the tools at your disposal from all angles, from all the elements. So earth, water, fire, air, including the spiritual world. So that was your recent past here. And then, of course, we have the Moon. This is a little bit of, you know, hidden. There could be some secrets here. There could be some shadows to be revealed here. There could be some, you know, dream work. There could be something that's available to you within the dream world. There could be a Pisces in your month, Taurus. So Moon is ruled by Pisces. Not like it is in astrology, it's ruled by Cancer, but in the Tarot, it's ruled by Pisces. And another way to read Piscean energy, for example, or the 12th house, which rules Pisces, is, you know, ESP, anything having to do with the occult, psychic energy, psychic talent. But again, because it's in the moon, tarot, it's like there could be some cross messages or mixed messages, or could be reading things inappropriately or inaccurately. So it's a really nice opportunity here, for example, to, you know, get to the bottom of something. So we're going to look at that in its position in just a second. And then you have this glorious new beginning here at the end that's available to you after some struggle. So I'm really glad to see this for you here. You know, your present position here with the 8 of Swords. It's similar to the 2, where it's almost like this is like an anxiety, which is different from the 2. But they're both blindfolded, right? Like the 8 and the 2 of Swords are both kind of like, I don't want to face this. I don't want to figure it out. I don't think I have what it takes or something. And I'm going to say, because this is the present being the 8 of Swords right next to the recent past, which is the Magician, I'm just going to call this a lack of faith right now. It doesn't have to be religious. It doesn't have to be spiritual, okay? Like, you don't have to have those influences or even those interests. But there is a lack of faith, because what's going on here that's available to you as a probable outcome, okay? If you can get through something here, and you've went from, I know I'm skipping around, but bear with me. You've gone from your present, which is a lot of anxiety, okay? This is happening within your own mind, or it's a communication, which is causing anxiety, or it's anxious, or it's a conversation you don't want to have, or you know when you do it's going to cause anxiety, that type of thing. So you're shielding yourself from it here, but it's to no avail. It's not helping you. And what it's saying is the outcome here, this is a brand new fresh start, okay? This is the ace of the same element. And the ace is saying there's an opportunity here for you to cut through the garbage, cut to the chase, get something off your chest, to be clear, to start over. The aces are always new, okay? Pure. So because it's air, for example, it's pure thought. It's pure, what's another way to frame that would be like, not influence, but I can't think of the word. It's just escaping me right now. It's pure like intention, right? Like, what do you want to, basically, okay, this is your present, and it's wasted imagination, okay? Another way I might read the 8 of air, because it's going on internally or mentally or psychologically to us. And again, this is why I find Tarot helpful, because sometimes we don't know what's tripping us up, or sometimes we know and then we think it's something else, right? Or we could have even been blaming someone else, or even a circumstance, etc., right? And what it's saying here is there's nothing external to you that's holding you back. And it could have been the focus was there. It's almost like this willingness to believe, or like even a need on some level for it to be outside of you. And I get it, like I get it. Taking responsibility for our own thoughts and behaviors and beliefs. And here, as I said, at the very, very beginning is the bottom of the energy, bottom of the deck energy, which is this very like fast moving, sensual, like I can do anything card, like excitable and full of life, right? It's like these are at odds. It's almost like you might have stopped yourself somehow. If this is a person or an individual in your environment, however, like I said, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Taurus, it could be that this person is overshadowing you, or some decision you wanted to make here that was faith-based, or had to do with you. And it could, listen, it could have nothing to do with the spirit world. It could be you having faith in yourself, okay? And your own abilities, right? Not just like having all these assets and things resources and stuff like that. It's like, it could just be your own ability to do something or see something or say something here. So be careful that this energy isn't overshadowing this. You're not being held down or kept down by someone's excitable energy. You want to make sure that this is helping you, that this energy is helping you out of it. And it could be that you need this excitability in the right volume or in the right manner or through the right, say, actor in your environment to uplift you and not to drain you. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there as well. And then, of course, we have some, wounded soldier energy here. Already talked about the moon for a moment. Let's get into these in terms of their own energy, and then we'll look at them in their respective positions. We do have the Four of Cups representing you. This is, this is a disappointment. This is emotional disappointment. It's the only emotions card that we have here, and then we have our Pentacle. So you have 2 air, 1 Pentacle, 2 fire, 1 water. So action and thought orientated here. This is where I'm going to suggest that it's something that you need to do for yourself, and you need to make up your mind about for yourself, because as a matter of faith, again, apply that however you see fit, as a matter of faith in your own abilities, God, resources, love or romance or affection, okay, working in a partnership with somebody else, matters of the heart, again, whatever this is focusing on for you, it's, you need to see your way out of it. You need to see something clearly, something for what it really is. There's definitely an anxiety presently, and there's definitely with regard to what you need to do is, this is the wounded soldier, but the opportunity with the wounded soldier is to say, I'm done. I'm not carrying this load anymore. And look at what it brings you. It brings you a sense of mental clarity, okay? Freedom. So there's something that you could physically or in an action-orientated way be carrying. It could be a behavior that you're forced to do or feel compelled to do through or by someone else who's very passionate, maybe very controlling, that you just don't want to follow through with anymore. You want to see the end to it. It's becoming oppressive. You've learned all you could learn from it, etc. Okay, and a real situation of clarity awaits you here. But I do think very strongly here that you need to, and as I said for the Aries reading just before yours, they had a 6 of Cups representing them. Yours is a 4. But my point here is that we all want the 10, right? We want the Buddha. We want the bliss for our emotional world. And, there's a disappointment here. There's too much disappointment here. You deserve more. And so that is my snapshot. Going to just get right into what each card means in its position in a little bit more detail, and of course hold these up for you. So this, as I mentioned, is your recent past. It is the 1, so it's something that's suggesting here that it had strictly to do with you. The aces are 1s as well, so we're bookending your reading with 1s. Again, if there's any semblance or attitude or thought process or belief here that what is holding you back from whatever, fill in the blank, improving your life, that new job, loving yourself, having that family you've always wanted, getting rich. I honestly don't, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Whatever you're filling in the blank with that you really want, that you've probably been clear about in the past to yourself or others, where someone or someone's energy has been tripping you up. It could just be a lot of rush of energy. It could just be like a lot going on as well, especially with here the 9 of Wands as well. It could just be a lot going on. Like, you need to focus, you need to concentrate. So yeah, I sort of got off track there, but Your book ended with ones here, so I'm going to suggest that even if there's outside energy, even if it looks like everything's being influenced by someone else, and it's not God or source, I'm going to say, go back to the source. Go back to the source. You know, you're going to want to fight for that faith that you had in something, or that clarity that you had, or that you made, or that you delivered, or that was granted to you, or agreed upon, whatever, okay? You need that clarity, because something's off in la la land here. Something's causing anxiety in the real world for you here. And this is very, very painful. It's very isolating as well, the Eight of Swords. But again, so the original artwork has her blindfolded. She's within this little circle of thoughts and ideas and beliefs that she creates, or he creates for himself, okay? So, and like my beautiful friend, my beautiful, intelligent friend Jennifer always says, she says, the problem is the solution. So I'm going to suggest here that we reframe and rework. Really, if it takes a month to do it, it'll be worth it. But, you know, examine what's going on in your mind and your belief systems and your communication style, if that's the case, and shape it into what you want to. Don't take it for granted this is all there is. Don't hold yourself back from wanting or delivering more for yourself. And, you know, I'm going to polish this off by saying, use your imagination and your belief systems and your thoughts, okay, and even your desires to some extent, to your advantage, okay? You want to use the Eight of Swords energy, which is currently keeping you closed up. It's currently creating anxiety or doubt. You're gonna flip that coin. You want to flip that up, okay? You want to know, I have everything I need. You want to remember you have everything you need. You have the answers. Don't lose faith. Don't be bullied or cajoled. Don't let rushing energy take over. Maybe it's a simple matter of fact, my dear Taurus. You are one of the nicest signs out there, that you're just a living doormat right now, and you're stressed out and you don't know how to say no. You don't want to let anyone down, okay? Totally reasonable, especially if you're a woman and you've been socialized as a woman. There's that likability factor. But even for men, I know Taurian men who they're socialized as men, and they still feel under this enormous pressure, usually due to their kind natures. So I think this might be a good month for you maybe to put your foot down, like decide what it is you truly want for yourself. Don't make any apologies for that, and put your foot down, okay? Here we have in the position of hidden influences. It's something you're working on with somebody else. The Three of Pentacles, at least one other person is involved here. But remember, the Three of Earth is actually really nice. It's really concrete energy. With regard to hidden influences, there's something that's already underway, something that's already begun. You might have already succeeded in some area here. Again, as a general reading, apply appropriately, but something with regard to a hidden influence that's already begun. And I'm going to suggest that at least one other person is working with you and possibly looking up to you right now as well. The original artwork for this card, of course, is I believe it's a priest at a pulpit, and then there's two sort of altar boys or altar girls, or there's a deacon and a priest, and someone helping. So there's helper energy here, but again, as a hidden influence card, and because it's based in the pentacle or the earth element, which is your element, I'm going to suggest that it's you who is helping yourself. You are going to continue growing that garden of love and respect and prosperity and joy and significance, wonder, like whatever's important to you, frankly, okay? That's already begun, at least with at least one other person. And it doesn't have to be that's the person you're in your partnership with. That's the person who's working with you toward these outcomes, right? That are, you know, you're at the early end of the scale here. You want the 10. Hey, right? The 10 of cups. Everyone wants the 10 of cups. Ideally, it's the bliss, the emotional bliss. Same deal. You want the you want the 10 of pentacles, which is financial bliss and worldly success, not even necessarily status. So it's however you define that, but everybody benefits. That's the point of the 10. Okay? It's completion. You've arrived, right? So, you know, keep going in this direction. As a hidden influence, if there's something that is stable and balanced in your life right now, Taurus, during the month of August, I'm going to suggest don't shake that up. Don't upset that, especially if it's something, as I said, that's happening, you know, in a practical manner, in the real world, having to do with your body, finances, assets, on some level, relationships, especially if they are with your children or you are a parent. Keep going in that direction. Something really beautiful may grow from this. So a hidden influence here in this regard would be to remember how fortunate you are and keep feeding that which already brings you fortune, okay? Another way to frame that in this reading would just be to suggest to count your blessings, okay? Especially if you feel bereft of something here, if you feel let down, if you feel, even if you do not feel, but think, if you think that something is unavailable to you, again, I can't help but see these two together and say lack of faith. Like, it's almost like your faith is being questioned. And listen, Taurus, if that's the case for you right now, I would seek clarity. Seek clarity here. See a deacon, see a priest, see a nun, see a spiritual leader. Go within yourself. I mean, it would be interesting here if we had an introspection or a hermit card, for example, or something stating to go within. But, you know, currently nothing is saying specifically to go within and find the answers within yourself necessarily, but there is a sense of, you know, you have to be in control of your thoughts and beliefs here. And I think it could be the difference between enjoying what is and what's being built and what's progressing here, as opposed to worrying even about that outcome. How's that going to turn out? Are we going to get to the four? Like that type of thing. Like, it's all progression, and it's already going in that direction anyway. So keep your mind clear and keep positive. I swear to God, I go into these readings and I'm like, oh, these 7 cards, these won't take long. Easy 30 minutes. And I'm already almost like 25 minutes into it and I'm not done. Let's get moving forward. I just get all chatty and I'm super interested, honestly, with all the energy here. And I truly want to help make something probable and healing for your outcome here. So anyway, this, like I said, this represents you. You're dissatisfied, okay? The 4 of Cups. There's 3 in front of you. The 3 in the Cups element, for example, is a celebration. It's a little bit of a party. It's a relaxing energy. But the 4 is interesting. The 4 is like you've got this little party, or you've had this celebration, for example, and there's a new opportunity that's just being handed to you. Like, do you want a little bit more of this? Do you want a little bit more of this energy? Do you want to invite someone else into it? Do you want to explore this energy? And it's like, it's a little bit uncomfortable. You know, that emotional, it's almost like going a little bit more or taking a little bit further, or, you know, exploring that, say, deeper is uncomfortable. It's not what you want to do right now. So I don't think whatever is going on right now includes a lot of heart, or you can't put your heart into something right now. This does represent you, him or herself, the querent him or herself. So yeah, maybe you don't want to get too emotionally invested right now. That's great. You know, I would say, especially with this right next to the moon, for example, it's probably a good idea to focus on thoughts and focus on behavior right now for the month of August at least. I'm not going to spend too much time here with the Cups, the 4 of Cups, but it is wise, perhaps if you have a little bit of time through the month, to maybe examine for a few minutes, you know, why you might be dissatisfied here emotionally, why your current state here is a little bit of emotional dissatisfaction. Here we do have the influence of others. This is a shadowing, right? This is illusion, disillusionment, distraction. As I said, this is the Pisces card ruled by Pisces. It's the 12th house. This is ESP, psychic energy. If this has anything to do with that, for example, if this is you currently, as I said, the Four of Cups, emotionally dissatisfied, it could be that, especially if this has to do with, psychic energy or ESP energy, or you're developing, your psychic talents, for example. It could be like you're not moving as quickly as you'd want to, or you're not satisfied with the outcomes. It could be that you do know this about yourself and you just don't want to develop it. You don't want this influence. There's definitely a discomfort here with the emotional self, with the emotional world right now. And as I said, with the moon here being the influence of others, this is really, it's 12th house energy. There's no other way to put it. It is a 9, so we do have ascended master energy, but yeah, unless you're a spiritual practitioner or a tarot reader yourself, I would say, really run with this, really explore it, engage in it, appreciate it, learn from it, etc. Don't be scared of it. But yeah, as an outside influence, there could be someone or some type of energy that's taking advantage of your good nature, would be another way to frame this as well. And it could feel like subversive. It could feel like on the sly, on the down low, a shadow self. On the worst case scenario, it could be like a narcissistic behavior, someone who behaves very, very differently when they're alone with you than when you're in the company of someone else. If that's a shadow self to you or someone that you're spending time with, I would get some clarity around why that person would be welcome in your environment, or why that, if for any reason, for example, this moon energy is unwelcome to you, I would get to the root of that, because it's definitely influencing your emotional world here. If it is something you want to see, I would take time to balance, okay, the world of assets and practicality, of resources, things that are available to you, not only through faith, but that you have faith that they're available to you because you've had experience with them. This is your past, so you know they're there, they exist. This is almost saying, like, does it exist? So it could be like someone trying to upset or an energy. If it's a feeling or an emotion, for example, it's like upsetting your understanding or take on the real world. And then here, as I said, the wounded soldier, this is what you should do. I want you to get rid of this. This is what it's saying. It's time to put that load down. You don't need to carry that anymore. It could be doing for other people, doing too much for other people, trying to do too much for other people, trying to make it look like you do anything for other people. These are not in cahoots. I feel like I could go on for at least another 20 minutes, which is ridiculous. I sincerely chose this as a short spread, but anyway, and I do want to pull some of the oracle for you. So let's get in quickly to the Ace of Swords. As I mentioned, this is your probable outcome. A new opportunity, okay? New understanding, revelation even. Aces are pure clarity. They cut through everything, whether it's an Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, all the aces. And it's new and it's pure. It's pure energy. So with swords, it's, pure thought, pure belief system. Something's really, really pure. But ultimately with swords, anytime we're dealing with swords energy, we're cutting. We're cutting through something. Here we have breathe. Look at that. I mean, honest to God, Taurus. Yes, my dear Taurus, breathe, breathe. Take a break. I really feel here that you need a break, especially with these, elements of dissatisfaction here. So definitely breathe. So one of your additional messages from the Oracle here, from the wisdom of the Oracle. Ooh, and it's funny because I was going to say half of the 8 of Swords is the 4. And guess what the 4 of Swords is, Taurus? Taking a break. Let it go. Stop thinking, stop overthinking, stop analyzing, stop overanalyzing. Breathe, slow down, stop. And again, this is very rushing energy. Unless it's exciting and sexy, it's just exhausting. So you could just be exhausted. You got to lay that load down. Maybe saying no is a big deal for you. Maybe learning to say no this month could be helpful for you. Here, of course, we have the buffalo. This is prayers in abundance. Listen, I'm convinced this has to do, even if you don't consider yourself to be a spiritual person, whatever that means to you, as we discussed at the start, I'm convinced this has something to do with faith, okay? Faith in a relationship, faith in yourself, faith in good outcomes, whatever it is. You want to reestablish your faith. Prayers in abundance. Remember, you live in an abundant universe. You've already got everything you need. We just need to believe and imagine from that perspective. This could even be, I would say the Ace of Cups is source God energy, but you know, this is going to cut through garbage here. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. If that's indeed going on for you, I would say that who you're working with, this could be someone you're working with. This energy, this might not have anything to do with a love affair or anything to do with you know, spirituality or faith-based anything. It could be, you know, you're losing faith in someone you're working with, okay? If that's the case, please use these messages to your advantage, whatever's going on for you personally. But as a general reading, it does appear as though finances and career are playing a part. These all sort of topped over there. I'm just looking for one more card. So financial issues, especially for a Taurian, that's going to feel pretty upsetting as well. Maybe you're dissatisfied with the way that something worked out, something you were promised, something you believed, and this guy just shot right out. But Taurus, all you are is abundance. All you are is abundance. Please come from that heart space, okay? Please come from this sense of abundance. Slow down if you must, okay? Slow down. Remember what you already have. Step by step. Take things step by step. Recognize this emotional dissatisfaction. Don't get buried by it. Don't even read into it, but just recognize